Regular season is less than a week away.
Yes.
And to me, after perhaps the most highly scrutinized offseason, arguably, in franchise history, is this Raptors team better than the squad that won 59 games in the regular season a year ago?
I love the question, and I love the way you phrased it, because the 59 to me is absolutely irrelevant.
Wow.
This team will be judged by what it does in the postseason, as did last season's team, which is why you ended up trading DeMar DeRozan, and I hope Raptor fans remember that throughout this season. It is irrelevant what happens during the regular season so long as you're able to keep Kawhi Leonard past the trade deadline. If they happen to go 19 wins on the season or 10 wins to the deadline,
which no one's really talking about, however, could happen. You don't know how this is going to go.
In the East, you think that they could
No, but
win?
all I'm saying is you have a new head coach. You have a new superstar. You have a lot of intangibles here. Don't tell me you're a lock for X, Y, and Z. I don't necessarily believe it. There's too many real balls in the air here to figure out what's going to happen with this Raptors team.
Besides making the playoffs or keeping Kawhi beyond the trade deadline, none of that matters to me. It is nearly irrelevant other than getting to the playoffs and making sure Kawhi's not pissed off. And I don't even know if wins. I think he's much more cerebral than that and understands that it will be a process to integrate a brand new head coach and integrate a brand new superstar. But I truly believe that the ceiling on this team is higher than the ceiling was on last year's team that won 59 games in the regular season. And here is why. Your star players' numbers don't collapse in the postseason. And Raptor fans, I know you really liked the guy because he really liked you, but let's not forget what happened to DeMar DeRozan in the postseason. And the guy that you got in return, his numbers go up when it matters the most. Like, let's not forget, the guy you traded was benched and then ejected when it mattered the absolute most last year. Let's not forget, during the playoff years that he played in Toronto, his numbers went down significantly in the postseason. And the guy that you got back is a finals MVP who is able to turn it up when it matters most. And I know that Raptor fans are still hurt because the one that loved them back is gone. But I truly believe the ceiling is higher on this team.
It can be. Look, Kawhi Leonard's the best Raptor of all time. Right now. Better than Vince, better than DeMar, better than Popeye Jones. Better than all of them. On pure skill, on awards in the cabinet, all of it. To me, it's not a discussion.
I'm trying to think about it because I hadn't actually thought about it in terms of Vince, in terms of DeMar DeRozan, but I don't think either. I mean, Vince may have been talent-wise one of the top 3 players in the league because that's where Kawhi got to at his height, right?
From a hype standpoint, yes. From a talent standpoint, yes. But I'm just talking, this guy's already been a Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. This guy's already won a Finals MVP. This guy's already done a lot of stuff that a lot of former Raptors, Hakeem Olajuwon aside, because let's forget that ever happened, could only dream of doing. This guy's already done it. This guy's he's well under 30 years of age. Like, that ceiling is there. I agree with you that he can take this team there if all the dominoes fall in a row.
But you're right, there are a lot of dominoes.
How's Nick Nurse going to do here? He's never coached a regular season game in his life. How is this going to happen? Don't tell me you know. You don't. How is Kyle Lowry going to fit into all this? Kyle's making $31 million this year, $33 million next year. Where's his head at? Will he lead? I don't know. Speaking of, Timmy, can we go back to last night for a moment?
I just want to point out that I'm surprised by this, and I'll point it out. 88% of those responding right now at sportsnet.ca/vote, right here, this one right here, are saying that the Raptors team is better than last year's 59-win team.
That's excitement for Kawhi. That's a level of excitement that's driving that. Now, I don't think people would have voted that way in July when the trade happened.
No, but maybe they've gotten over that. They've had their time. They have reminisced. They have shed a tear. They're going through the 6-step process, 9-step process. I don't know how many steps the process is.
12 steps
Is it 12?
of acceptance.
How many of them? 6 to 12?
12 steps of acceptance.
12 steps. They've gone through the 12
First,
steps.
yell.
Right.
Second, yell on social media.
Correct.
3, retweet stuff you don't agree with on social media.
Right.
4, read Michael Grange,
Right.
because he's great.
Okay.
5,
Right.
watch this show. 6, watch this show. 7, watch this show. 8, Nick Nurse interview we did on this show. Hey, seems like a good guy. I like Nick Nurse.
9, Danger Bay.
Danger Bay. 10, watch all season 2 of The Fifth Estate,
Okay.
which was by far the best season.
Yeah.
Where are we?
We're on 11 and
We're on
there's
11.
12, yeah.
Anyway, there's a couple other steps there.
I think there's 5 stages to grief. I think there's a 12-step process for other things. But whatever. You get the point.
I did the 12 steps is not what you were going
I know.
for.
Who knows?
There's 12 steps to
Who
something.
knows? I was confused. You were confused. It's like Khabib all over again.
Habib. There's 12 steps to learn how to pronounce Habib.
All right.
I mean, look, I didn't expect that number, especially in July. That number should have been there in July, though. Guys, you should have known better. This was all for the better.
Well, it's funny.
All
though.
for the
No, but that's the way the process
But
goes.
it shouldn't be.
No,
People need to be smarter than this. I'm
no,
sorry.
No, but you know,
I'm sorry.
You know that all that yelling and screaming at the time would subside once you. And we need to ask the follow-up. Like, have what you've seen from Kawhi changed your vote on this? Like, is that what it is? Because I don't know if I've seen that much from Kawhi that it would change my vote on it, unless you never watched the NBA. And sometimes that happens, right?
You're talking in the preseason?
I'm talking, why would that be so different? Why would 87% be the number as we speak who think they're better than last year, and all we heard were people being remarkably pissed off that they traded DeMar DeRozan? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, what's been the difference? Has it been you watch the preseason and you realize Kawhi is good? Because if you watch the NBA, maybe he's healthy, showing that he's healthy.
I think he's healthy. I think he was healthy last year. Let's be honest.
Me too.
I think he was healthy last year.
Maybe they didn't know that.
Maybe they didn't know that. What's funny is, too, no Raptor fan has seen him play in person. More people in Montreal have seen him play than Toronto. He didn't play in that game recently.
By the way, that Montreal crowd.
How about it?